This is the conversation we're going to have with the PS before we walked in. As President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration marks the first year in office, the cabinet has lately been attracting attention for issues ranging from utterances of some of its members to reports of infighting in some ministries. Utterances by Trade and Industry CS Moses Kuria and Economic Advisor David Ndii have been deemed insensitive, drawing the censure of, among others, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And as Brenda Wanga now reports, the President's cabinet is on the spotlight for all the wrong reasons.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Wonderful.
In the lead up to his speech at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, President William Ruto has been busy in the American West Coast propping up Kenya as a favorable investment destination as well as the best placed location for the technology revolution in Africa.
It's good. Thank you.
For a tour of the American bastion of trade, technology and innovation, it came across as odd that President Ruto traveled with his first-line trade and technology officials, and it came as no surprise when hosts mixed up their introductions.
I am pleased to acknowledge His Excellency President William Ruto and his senior-level government delegation from Kenya today, including Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Alfred Muta, Principal Secretary for State Department of ICT and Digital Economy, John Tanud, and Cabinet Secretary and Economic Advisor Adan Mohammed, all protocols observed.
Adan Mohammed is a former Trade Cabinet Secretary in President Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet and now serves as Trade Advisor for President Ruto. But here, he was introduced as the CS Trade. Whether by slip of the tongue or not isn't clear.
Sasa ukishinda kutoka ya asubuhi mpaka jioni, bei ya mafuta imeongezeka, si uchipe kisima yako. Dunia mzima tunajua bei ya crude oil imeenda juu, na kama wale watu wa Makerere wako na kisima, mimi niko tayari kuchipa kesho. Nionyeshe ngoma yako, niambie wewe chipa mafuta hapa ndio bei iteremke.
Thousands of miles away, the substantive holder of the trade docket, Moses Kuria, was trading off unpleasantries, telling of Kenyans who criticized the spike in fuel prices. Away from the microphones, Moses Kuria went online, tweeting up a storm that caught the attention of, among others, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who distanced the government from the remarks. Elsewhere, others, including close government allies, called for accountability.
President Ruto, sack these people, otherwise serikali yako sasa hata small function like this inaanza kukaa kama iko na sura mbaya. Kweli urongo.
In a separate cabinet theatre, an unusual exchange has ensued at the Water and Irrigation Ministry, where Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome and Principal Secretary Dr. Kiprono Rotich over the fate of the CEO at the River Waterworks Development Authority accused of graft. Letters have been exchanged between the CS and the PS in a manner that governance observers would consider a breach of protocol. The happenings in sections of the cabinet comes after President William Ruto expressed displeasure over the performance of his cabinet, whose members the president suggested lacked knowledge of their own docket.
Many of you, the people I speak to, don't even know what is going on in your ministries or departments. You have very scanty information. The moment I know more than you in your ministry, then you must begin to understand that something is very wrong. How do you run a ministry or that department or a parastatal if you have no information? That is the highest level of incompetence.
The Cabinet Secretary's performances has also caught the attention of the public, who recently, in an opinion poll, scored the entire cabinet a measly D grade, with all the ministries that deal with the economy rated as poor, perhaps a reflection of the state of the country's economy. With growing disquiet over the performance of some of the cabinet secretaries from members of the public and even the presidency itself, many will be keenly watching to see how long the president will take before he acts on this situation that threatens to sully the image of his government. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, on that note, Monday Report is taking a quick break here. When we come back, we're having a